welcome back to my channel. Stu here, the Predator Angler, and today I'm spending a few hours in Tatton Park targeting the northern pike with my friend Mark, also known as Pike Kings. Now Tatton Park is a huge body of water located in the picturesque town of Knutsford in Cheshire. And just a quick disclaimer, as some may know that Tatton Park sits in the flight path of Manchester Airport. So I've made a quick call to Manchester Airport who confirms I wasn't in a restricted zone to fly my drone. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to drop us a sub. I think today is going to be a cosy day under the day shelter because the weather's a bit grim today. But what a water this is, check this out. So those that know me by now know that I love popping up a dead bait off the bottom for pike fishing. This, I've been told, the mere here is a bit of a naggy ground. So I'm going to stick to my same method. I'm going to do a little ledger stemmed popped up bait off the bottom. It's a 2-ounce lead. So sliding that onto your line, we've got 80-pound braid on. Then I've got a little buffer there. And then that comes down to my treble trace line, which is what I will put on now. So on one of my rods I'm going to be using half a mackerel, and on the other one my all-time favourite, half a herring. So I'm going to set up the mackerel first. So I'm just going to take the tail end off and then I'll show you how I do my pop-up before I attach it to the main line. So we've got our little tail section now. There's a lot of planes going over here as well. I hope you can hear me. So we're just going to pierce the side of the fish with a baiting needle and then come out through the top. It's quite a tough mackerel, so it might need a bit of a push and a pop. There we go. And then that just slides up and go a bit further forward than that, actually. About there, like that, it's perfect. And then we've got our little popper there. We're just going to pull that back through, as I've done in previous videos, but I'll do it again. If you've not seen those, you can see what I'm doing. And then you just pull that hoop out the side of the fish there. So the pop-up is in the fish. I know people do attach the popper to the treble and then put a flag on. I like embedding it and then pulling the trace line through that hoop, which is what I'll show you now. I may have just pulled that a little bit. Oh no, we've got it there. The hoop's out. That's perfect. Then before you attach your trace to your main line, you need to set this part of the rig up. So this isn't connected yet because you need the swivel end of your treble trace and you push it through the hoop that you've just pulled through the side of the fish. Now this can be a bit finicky, especially when fish are wet and slimy. Right, I made that look harder than it is. So you've pushed your trace through the hoop. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's the end of the trace there. You pulled it through the hoop, and then you're just going to pull your trebles through until they're onto the actual flank of the fish, like so, like that, and then you just hook them into the flank, like so. I hope I've made that. That is a lot easier than I've made that look. But that is the rig there. So the treble trace has come through the hoop, the other end of the popper there, and then you've just hooked your trebles into the flank of the mackerel. And then we can now attach that to the end of the line, but not before I put a little bit of bait elastic around that just to hold the hooks in place. Now mackerel is quite a firm fish, so you don't necessarily need bait elastic. I like using it because it does just hold the hooks on a little bit better. It's good if you're using softer fish like sardine and stuff like that. You don't need to be massive amounts of it. I mean, I've put a good few wraps around that now. I'll just wrap it around the hook a few times and then snap it off, and then that's locked in place. Them hooks aren't going anywhere, and that's ready to roll. So let's get that attached to the trace line. So with your trace to your swivel, I just do a standard fisherman's knot, a clinch knot. There's a few different names for it. So you just take your line through the swivel, like so, and then you take it round the main line, the tag end around the main line, about 6 times will suffice. Could do, like so, and then you've got a little loop back at the swivel end. You take that tag end and you push it back through that loop, like that. Now, you can pull the knot down there, if you so wish. However, I like to go back through the big loop again. It just helps clinch that knot down a little bit harder. So I've pulled it back through that, and then always make sure you wet your line. Yeah. And then you can pull that knot down without burning the braid or the mono line that you might be using. And then pull that down tight onto itself. Nice and tight. Perfect. Just cut that tag end off there. Pop that back in my box. And then the buffer that you originally put on, you can just push that over the end of the swivel. And it just protects that knot. Keeps everything nice, and it stops the running lead to get past that point then. Yep. And then what will happen is that will keep all the line nicely off the bottom, and then your mackerel will be nicely popped up off the bottom as well. And that's the rig that I'm going to be using on both today, both rods. It's just the other one's going to have a herring on. So let's get this injected and let's get it out into the water. So as you've probably seen in a lot of my videos, I always inject my baits. I'm going for the lamprey oil at the moment. I'm quite liking the lamprey oil. So I just fire some of the oil into my dead bait, and it just helps create a bit more of an oily stink and a bit of a slick in the water. I like using them. Whether they change the game or not, it's probably never been proven, but I do think it gives you the edge when it comes to pike fishing, because it does create that extra stink. Even though mackerel are quite an oily fish anyway, I think every little helps. Right, time to get that baby in the water. Okay.
I didn't want to go through.
Oh, what a cast. I'm happy with that there. I'm happy with that there, that'll do. That will do. Still not at the bottom, that is deep there. Wow, yeah. There we go. Right, let's get the second rod set up. Come on. Right, did you hear about that kidnapping at that school in Oldham? Sorry, he woke up. He woke up. Sophie Max taking me on today. So we can kill this for this. Can't just stay. It's down there.
A few moments later.
I knew it was because you didn't come out, you did it. Not that me.
But you had to come and check anyway.
Check, I thought he might be down there low fishing. Oh, fucking hell. I knew it was too good to be true anyway, don't panic.
You're out of breath now, kid. Mark, conjunctivitis.com. That's a sight for sore eyes. I'll leave you to it, lads. What are we on, lad?
I can't believe I've had 7 fish. The biggest of them being 29.5. Oh no, sorry, I woke up this morning.
You ready? You cornflakes?
Yeah, I was still free. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, good. It's nice, isn't it, Tatton? So I hadn't had a bite for a couple of hours, not even a nudge, nothing. So I decided to move my rods a bit further down the bank, not far, just change spot, which is always good when you're pike fishing. I mean, I've moved it round just within the vicinity of where I was fishing every 20 minutes to half an hour, but without a bite. So I decided to push a bit further down the bank, and no sooner had it been in the water, bang, the first pike was on, and I was so made up. With moving spot, I'd also changed the system of my rig slightly, so my baits were just popped up off the bottom originally, but what I'd done is I'd put a stopper further down the line which stops the lead running so close to the actual dead bait, which means that the pop-up will allow the fish to pop up further in the water column, and this is where I found the pike just a bit higher than off the bottom, which was a really good technique to adopt, and I'm so glad that I made that switch. Look at him. There we go. That's one out. He's not a bad sized pike, him, you know.
Yeah, give us 2 minutes.
What's up?
Lost the ball.
Happy days with that first one. Has he got? It's covered in no, just a bit of leafage. A lovely May pike, Tatton Park pike.
Oh.
Yeah, lovely rear dorsals, lovely markings, nice fat belly, beautiful condition. I'm so happy with that. What an absolute banger of a fish. Yeah, well happy with that. Yeah, right, here we go, mate. Thank you very much, Cocker. You've been amazing. Get in. What an absolutely stunning May pike that was. So it's time to re-rig and get it back out again. Mackerel was the choice there. It took the mackerel, the popped up mackerel, popped up further up in the water, as I've said. So re-rigged, chucked back out, and it wasn't long before I was into my second pike on the same rod, on the same bait of choice, half mackerel. Weirdly, the herring didn't go. And they were fished quite relatively close together, both rods, but it was the mackerel that was the choice. So yeah, I was back into another one, and it was equally a stunning pike. Smaller, and he's covered in leeches. Right, and he's done the death roll in the net. He's done the death roll in the net, and he's covered in leeches. And he's got right tangled up there now. He's got a few leeches on him. But there we go. Not a big one, smaller than the last one, but absolutely stunning colours, beautiful fish. Literally bait's just not even touching the bottom and it's going. That's 2 in 5 minutes. Just absolutely smashed them half popped up mackerel. What a fish, beautiful. I think I found the spot where they sat just by moving about 15 metres to the left, changing up a few things, making the dead bait popped up a little bit higher, and voila, we're into another pike. Lovely belly, lovely markings. Just an absolute stunning fish, and I am absolutely buzzing with that. So let's get this fella back in the water. Right, thank you very much. Beautiful pike. Oh, he's off straight away. Woo! Wrong way, wrong way. That way. That way. And he's gone. What was he thinking there? Right, it has been an interesting day for our first time. Oh, look at the mess in my tent there behind. Oh my gosh, don't look at that. It's been an amazing day. Never fished Tatton before, but you know what? It's been fantastic. I've had two lovely pike. Probably the biggest one was probably £6, maybe. And then probably £3 to £4 the other one. But you know what? I'm dead happy with that. And it just goes to show that changing up your tactics really can give you the edge and make the difference when you pike fish. So that is it for me and from Mark from Pike Kings. We are going to pack ourselves up and get ourselves home. But thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop us a sub and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, Lions.